In this video, we'll explore MQTT blocks together. First, we took the MQTT config block into our editor. We also add a TCP socket block to the editor and connect its output to its input. Inside the TCP socket block, a TCP client is selected, and we enter the IP and port to connect over the MQTT protocol. First, the server port and IP. We choose the communication media type, whether it's Ethernet, GSM, or Wi-Fi. We'll continue with Ethernet. Let's connect a high gate enable input to operate the block. Let's activate the block. We will take a register block and connect it to the trig input to send signals on the rising edge and publish all information periodically via the MQTT protocol. In the MQTT block, there are fields for client ID, username, and password. The keep alive time shows how many seconds after the communication is lost before it tries to reconnect, for example, 60 seconds. Clean session means to send information if there's communication. If useDevice serial as username is selected, it defines the device's serial number as the username. We will use this word register in the MQTT protocol. First, let's create a line definition called word. Now we go to the MQTT table section in the projects part to transfer this to the MQTT protocol. Let's enter the title name in the publish section. We write word_publish. We choose QoS0. Here we define the payload type as a string. We make our choice and start adding. We are actually creating the category to be published. Then we enter the blogs to be published under this title. Here, we select the word block to subscribe and determine whether the change will be integral, percentage, or level. If the select before for quality information needs to be transferred, enter the relevant area. If you want this information to be carried in periodic transmission, you can mark this option. And there's select trigger block. In the trigger block, the trigger, when it comes on the rising edge, is used to send only that block's data. Those places remain non-selected. You can choose a block there if you want. In the device configuration area, we entered the device's IP and port. When we say connect using TCP, we have now made a connection to the device via Ethernet. And then we upload the project to the device together now. After that, we reconnected using TCP. We can do online monitoring. Now on the other side, we also open an MQTT program. We also need to subscribe there. We opened our subscription area named word_publish with QoS0. Now let's observe the word register we published, i.e., the value we entered, via the MQTT protocol. Of course, when we open the live monitoring, it shows that MQTT is ready for connection, i.e., 3. Yes, as you can see on the screen, the value of block Let's send another value. When we come back and right-click again, let's enter a new value now. We enter the value of 70. As you can see on the screen, we have entered the value of block 3003. That is, here the PLC is publishing. In the relevant program, we can observe it in the subscribe area. Let's also show For example, even if there is no change of 5, we displayed that the information was transmitted because it was sent periodically in this program. Now, on the other side, we will define the opposite in the subscribe area this time. First, let's enter the published topic. Let this be named word_subscribe. Here the program is actually publishing. On the other PLC side, we will define this in the subscribe area. We chose the payload type. We will again enter the same format in the relevant box after making the definitions first. Of course, after the definitions, we enter the name of the topic to be published here. On this side, we write the name of a topic to be subscribed to as word_subscribe. Here, depending on which JSON format you connect to, we made their choice in brackets. Now here again we select the blocks to be subscribed to. Let's load this project onto the device later. In our second application, while PLC will subscribe, the relevant program will publish. Let's observe this together now. Again, we write the blog number in curly brackets, then enter the value and close the curly brackets, as seen on the screen. First, start the online monitor. We sent a value of 15. The program published it. And then we viewed it through the relevant register. Similarly, let's see a different value again. Let them both appear on the screen. For example, when you enter an expression like 25, we wrote that value on the word register. Thus, we have done both publish and subscribe operations over the MQTT protocol. We see a value of 3 at the output of the MQTT config block. If a value of 0 comes from this output, TCP disconnected. 1 is TCP connecting. 2, MQTT connecting. 3, MQTT connection established.